Hi everyone, welcome to today's session. And you caught me playing. How are you doing today? Today we are looking at building your personal productivity system. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about it and then giving you the concepts you need to build yours. I will also show you a little glimpse into mine. So, welcome. Um, what we talked about the journey so far. So today is day 51 officially. We started this series where we started talking about the different things we need to do to get from stock to finish. That is from starting goals to ensuring that we accomplish the goals that we have set for ourselves. So we established a couple of facts. Number one, people don't have a problem setting goals. Setting goals is not a problem because everyone is motivated, everyone has that sense of inspiration already in them. They want to have dreams, but the problem lies in execution. So the problem is not setting the goals, the problem lied with execution. So what happens then? It's not just about executing once, but it's about being consistent, about sticking to it till you finish, about being like a stamp and stick to one thing until you get to the finish line. That's what we've discussed. So, thank you all for joining me today. Let me know where you are joining from. So, my name is DK Jonah, as you already know. Just tell me where you're joining me from today and if you have ever heard of a personal productivity system. If you've not, then I've got good news for you. I'll be speaking to you a lot about it and you'll be able to create yours. So we're live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So I'll be going to the different platforms and we're going to look at how we can help each other create your personal productivity system. It's about organizing, prioritizing, and thrive. What do I mean by organizing? It's not just about having goals, having dreams, and living every day. It's about planning your life and organizing it based on priorities, and this helps you to thrive as an individual. And a well designed productivity system is a bridge between your dreams and accomplishment because it's not just about having goals, it's about understanding that goals alone do not are not enough for you to be the best version of yourself. I want to know how my audio is doing. Please, Esther, let me know how the audio is doing as I'm talking about the benefits of a personal productivity system. If the Esther is I say it's the Esther. If the audio is fantastic, let me know. If I need to increase it, let me know because I can't hear myself. Or oh, you're listening from Nigeria. So yes, that's a confirmation that people can hear me. Okay, fantastic. So what's a personal productivity system and why am I calling it something personal? When we are all different, we all have things that work for us and things that don't work for us. We all have different circumstances, different experiences, education, and in order for us to survive, we need to create a system that works for us, not against us. So although Esther and I may be introverts, what works for me may not work for Esther because I have more years of experience than her. And we have different conditions. We don't have the same resources. So she needs something different while I need something different. But however, there are certain steps that we can both take that would help us build this productivity system that we can thrive with or thrive in. And that's the essence of what we're discussing today. So, how do we build your personal productivity system? It starts a little and then builds up with time. But the benefit number one, you accomplish your goals. We talked about the fact that people start goals, but they don't accomplish them. So, the first thing that happens when you have a personal productivity system is that you achieve the goals you want to achieve. You do what you say you will do because your system helps you keep track of your goals, ensures that you are accountable. It's even efficient and enables you plan and manage your time properly. In this series with the draft, we don't talk about time management only. We talk about respecting time, understanding how long it takes you to complete a task, not being time blind, but being conscious of every single thing that is involved in every single task. So we'll not really go into that episode today. But if anybody wants a replay, it's on the YouTube channel. It also increases your motivation when you are successful, when you are succeeding, when you are achieving your goals, you have the encouragement, the motivation to keep moving forward. And this improves your creativity completely because sometimes when we see what we've created being used, it brings this satisfaction that we want to create more. It helps us understand how we create and then we do more. So, if you want to do more, if you feel you're not doing enough, what you don't need is not to set another goal, but rather to create a personal productivity system that works for you. It improves accountability also. Why am I calling it a system? Because it's not just about the goals, it's all these things combined together that helps improve the way to do things. So there are 5 steps to create your personal productivity system. It's personal because it's unique to you, productivity because it improves the way you get things done, and a system because it's not just about setting goals. Step one, where are you now? Assess your current state. And you can assess your current state by asking, "Oh, Kemi, I've missed you." You can assess your current state by asking yourself some questions and trying to understand where you are. So, how do I assess my current state? By looking at your calendar, by looking at your time, by looking at your day, by reflecting on your day, by sitting down with yourself and saying, okay, what are the things that I am doing that is not making me accomplish my goals? What do I need to stop? What do I need to start? Yesterday, we talked about self awareness. That is the beginning of assessing your current situation. So if you missed yesterday's episode, then it will be good to do that. But how do you do that? You start by reflecting on your daily habits. What do you do every day? For my team, I have made an habit of them having co-working sessions. They're supposed to be a co-working now. Morning sessions and evening sessions. The reason I did that was simply because I wanted them to have a daily habit of working, of creating, of doing something intentionally so that you are able to come, focus, and actually accomplish what you want to accomplish. So you need to be self aware. Where are you? What are your daily habits? What are your productivity gaps? And acknowledge them. Are you someone that procrastinates? Stop saying, by God's grace, I don't procrastinate. God's grace is sufficient for you, but let's not bring religion into this. What kind of person are you when it comes to your work? Are you someone that waits till the last minute? Are you someone that is always late and you're running out? Are you someone that forgets you have appointments? What kind of person are you? Do not be in denial. Acknowledge your productivity gaps. Then you set clear goals. It's not just about setting goals. We've talked about goals before, so we're not going to dwell on step two. Step two is about setting clear and specific goals. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So define your objectives, have a plan with your goals. So every goal has a plan. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. And these are the steps involved. Then you break them down into tasks. Every task does not have the same weight. Progress is made by small steps, not giant leaps. Sometimes we don't want to take the small steps daily. For example, I say come for co-working. You're like, hey, that thing is not necessary. DK doesn't know what she's saying. You don't understand that it's just those little things that will help you improve, not the giant leaps that you want to take. I tell people, track your time, know what you're doing with your time, practice Canva writing, practice writing daily. Simple tips that I give out. If you make those small steps, it's better than the giant leaps that you want to take, and they are actually more effective. So break down your task. We talked about breaking down the task into 3 things. I don't know if anybody wants to remind me. If everybody here reminds me, what are the 3 ways we say we're going to break down task? Break down your task into 3 things. Let me know the 3 different ways we break down tasks based on our own system here. Now it's time to develop your system. People are like, oh, is this something complex? Yesterday I talked about it briefly and I said this: to create your system, start on paper. Don't just jump into it. Start on paper. Ask yourself questions. Who am I? I am DK Jonah, an introvert that loves walking. I'm a workaholic. That's who I am. I have a chronic illness, so I cannot work as often as I want to. So I know who I am. And I am somebody that likes Canva. I like planners. I understand what I am and what I would use. What about you? Who are you? What kind of tools are you attracted to? What tools do you have? Do you have a phone, an iPad, and a laptop? Or do you have just a phone? Write down what you have. I hope you're taking notes because I think I should be asking for pictures for your notes. Just kidding. But write down what you have. What do you have? Who are you and what do you have currently? What do you want to work on? What skills do you need to work on it? So I'm going to use Esther as an example. Esther is a social media manager that uses a phone. That is what she has. So someone like me that uses a laptop all the time, I feel more comfortable behind my laptop than on my phone. There are some people that want to work on their phones. Once you know who you are and what you have and what you like using, you are able to choose your tools better. We're not just using tools because we feel like using tools. Everybody is using Notion. Oh, it's so pretty. Let's move to that bandwagon. No, we're creating effective systems that you will utilize, and you are creating it yourself. We've done step one, step two, step three is now okay. Let's create your system. So, choose the right tools. The best tools are the ones you use consistently. So, what tools should I use, DK? I say pen and paper. Start with pen and paper. I always start with pen and paper. I don't hesitate. I say think on paper. Someone tell me to think on paper, right? Think on paper while we're discussing the tools. Think on paper. Why am I saying think on paper first? There's a lot that you are overwhelmed with and you are working with right now. In order for us to help you grow, in order for you to grow, you need to get things out of your head and onto paper. That's the first step of thinking on paper. You do a brain dump, then you work from your list. You're like, okay, what are the things that I have to do in the month of August? How many, if it's for like she'll say, how many site visits does she have? This is what she wants to learn. These are the tools she has. She needs data to learn this. You've written all these things down. When you've written all these things down, we can now say, okay, this is the tool that works for you. So today I'm going to talk to you about Airtable. I'm going to show you what I am doing with Airtable and a step further that I am taking. And you can create your own. You don't have to use my system. If you want to use it, I will share it with you after approval from Tobichukwu. But pen, paper, Notion, tax management, your calendar is important. Your calendar is very, very important. You should have an idea of what you want to do, but have flexibility. I always talk about saying things that your priority is important, but there's room for flexibility. Now, I have a meeting by 10 p.m. today. It was supposed to be 8. So I know I have a meeting by 10. I've had to adjust myself and say, okay, I will be in that meeting for 10 p.m. There has to be flexibility even when it comes to your tools. So, which of these tools have you heard of? The idea of using pen and paper, Google Docs or Words, spreadsheet, Notion, or Airtable. Which one have you heard of, and which one do you feel comfortable using? Let me know in the chat. And is this thing still broadcasting? Because I can't see that notification anymore. My internet has been giving me issues. Esther, if you're still here, let me know because my internet is giving me issues. I want to know if I'm still live. Okay. While I'm waiting for feedback from Esther on that, Lakemi and any other person listening, tell me which of these tools you've heard of. Notion. Notion is fantastic. I think it's a wonderful tool. I think most people should use it. Then, when you're looking at this, and I talked about controlling your calendar, you have to have time blocking techniques that help you control your calendar, and your calendar is not controlling you. So you know that it takes you 5 hours to finish a blog post. You break it down into different days, and that's how you are able to complete it. You are blocking out that time, and you are doing monk mode, doing deep work when it comes to those specific tasks. Time blocking techniques are important. Time is a precious resource. Use it wisely. Sometimes we overestimate how long it will take us to do something, and we underestimate how long it will take us to do others. You should know how long it takes you to do stuff. Even if you are using AI tools, because with AI tools, you still have to put something into it, then you get it, then you adjust it. Know how long it takes you to move from a picture has been given to you from that prompt to caption on AI to final draft. Know how long it takes you and block out this time. What do I mean by block out this time? Okay, I tell you to come for co-working from this time to this time. You're still free from 10 to, I hope everybody is here because everybody is supposed to be here. Um, okay, thank you very much. Esther, Please, I hope everybody is here or they'll watch the replay later because everybody is supposed to be here because we said that there'll be no co-working today. I just remembered. Okay, time blocking techniques. Esther, please let me put in the Telegram group that everybody should please join. I will be going into the system we're going to use that we spoke about this morning. So it would be good it's if they are here and I'll give them like 3 minutes to join. And anybody that joins should just write joined. Okay, prioritize effectively. Why do I mean by prioritize effectively? Not every task has the same weight. I said always work from a list, and we're going to look at the list building system that I use, not your head. Don't say I will remember. Work from a list. Write it down. Don't be afraid to write it down. Someone's like, "Oh, you're always writing down everything." Yes, I remember when I was growing up, my mom would send us to Road 7 or somewhere to buy stuff, and you go to the market and people will say, "My name is on your list." Though my mom has always taught me to write lists. She will write a list for every single thing. Work from a list, not your head. And Esther, I like this quote if you're still here. Always work from a list, not your head. Why? Because the mind is not meant to be remembering. Let's use it for processing, for thinking. Let's not be keeping things in our minds that we can put on paper or put in anywhere. So we're going to work on Airtable in a few minutes, and I will walk you through that. So you don't need to um, be on Airtable now. But if you're watching on different platforms, you can join and just ask your questions if you have questions. So I'm going to stop sharing this and move on to share another tab so you can see what I am doing. Esther, once the others are here, let me know so I know that I can move on to the Airtable listing because I will not be explaining this again. All right, so we have one tab. Listen. So what I've done is I've created something on Airtable that I want you to start using or to create your own. So I started with my major list. Remember what I said? Always work from a list. Don't work from your head. So what I do is I do a brain dump of all the activities, anything that anybody wants me to do. I come to this place and I write it down. So I'm already creating my list for next week and August at the same time because we have just 9 days left in this month. I've planned some things. I'm now saying, okay, what's going to happen to me in August? So I'm going to show you the weekly one and I'm going to show you the major list. Why am I saying start with a major list? Um, Esther, let me know once you're back. Why am I saying start with a major list? A major list is every single thing. It's your master list. You can call it your major list. You can call it your master list. But it's your brain dump of every task, every activity, every appointment, every single thing that you are supposed to do. Whether you are sure of the way to do it, you're not sure of the way to do it. What you're doing, first of all, is you are writing it down. You're writing it down. So you're starting with your major list, your master list or your major list. I call them both. That's what I will say. Um, 1 second. So you start with your list. Why are you writing it down? So you remember. I'm just reading a comment now and I will be back. Why am I writing it down? So you remember. So you start with your major list. I write down every single thing I want to do and I use this platform called Airtable. I start with Google Docs, then I move to Airtable. So every obligation, every meeting, every appointment is written down here. And if you look at this place, it gives me an opportunity to give an explanation of what it is. So podcast is a bit broad, but I just wanted you people to see how it works. So I'll be like podcast. I now use my 6 Ds. What am I going to do with this certain activity that I have written? Nefisa, if you can join from LinkedIn, it's going to be clearer, or from YouTube. The Instagram is not as clear as the others, unfortunately. So please join from the other platform. Anybody that joins should please join from the other platform. So you write down your list of every single thing you're supposed to do. I'm supposed to do a Canva design. I'm doing research. Write every single thing down. So I now use my 6 Ds to determine what it's going to be. So I'm doing a live video. I have 3 live videos next week or 4, I can't remember. So is either something that I am going to do, is something I'm going to defer, that means I will do it later. It's something that I'm going to ditch, I'm not going to do it. It's something I'm going to delegate. It's something is a distraction for me at this point in time, and it's something that I have done. So I'm going to go from do, defer, ditch, delegate, distraction, and done. They are different things. So, for example, when I don't do my design, my graphics, I'm not going to do it myself. I will say create content to promote live. That's my explanation of graphics. Ignore my spelling. That's my specific explanation. And it's something that I know I'm going to delegate to somebody. Who did I assign it to? I assigned it to Emmanuel and Ibukun, for example. So this is assigned immediately. And then once there's a feedback, I will write the feedback. And I will do that for every single activity on my list. Do, delegate, meeting, I have to do that one. Email, I've delegated. My content bank, I can't do it right now, so I'm going to defer it. Growth works, I can't do that right now. So I can say this is a distraction. It's going to distract me from the things I am supposed to do. I am being specific about this. Commitment circle is something that I have to do. My live video, I have to do it. My slides, can I delegate it? Yes, I can delegate it, but I don't do. Research, I can see that as let's say done, so you have one red. Instagram, I've delegated it to someone specific and I know the dates I will ask her to do something. So that's your major list. Your major list uses your 6 Ds, because after you've written your major list or your master list, whichever one, major versus master, which one do you people prefer? Okay, welcome back, Esther. So that's the first one. Your list is important. Every single thing comes on your list. Don't care how trivial it is. Don't care how silly it is. It's like call somebody. It comes on my list straight up. Then I come to my tax breaker. Remember what we talked about it. Now, this is will now be where you will now say, after you've said all the ones you want to do. So I said I want to do my podcast. There may be more things to do with my podcast. So I can break it down that for the podcast, I have to choose topics, guests, or I write this here. Choose topics, guests, record, edit, publish. Now, all these are lots of tasks. There are too many things. So if I just put podcast, it's too vague. But now I'm breaking it down into more things. And when I break it down into more things, I can decide to put these individual things on individual tasks, on major lists, individual things that I am going to be doing. So I've said podcast is too tiny. So I can put record. There's already email. I need to record myself. Edit, I can edit it myself. If I want to learn how to edit so that I can edit myself, this thing. If I say I want to do CapCut video, I can decide that I want to learn how to use CapCut now. But learning how to use CapCut for me is going to be a distraction. Learning how to edit for me at this point in time is a distraction. It's a good thing. I can record myself. Only me can record. I cannot do it. Nobody else can do it. I can delegate the editing. If it's to make a call, I can say I'll make that call to that person later. I can ditch that activity. You have 6 Ds. Remember, what are the 6 Ds? It's either something that you do, you defer, you ditch, you delegate, it's a distraction, or it's done. That's how you break down your list. Now, I've said a couple of things. If I want to do a certain task and it's record, that's a major thing that will take me 3 hours. But if I want to tweet based on my content, it needs minimum attention. Maximum attention, remember, is what requires deep work. Nobody else can do it but me. And I have to, it has to have my full attention. There are certain tasks that you're doing that require your full attention, but because you did not create enough time for it, you were not able to do it. So I'll be like maximum attention, minimum attention. This live session requires maximum attention, but the medium attention was prep for review my slides. It's going to take me like 30 minutes to review slides. If I want to review designs that Emmanuel has done or Ibukun has done, review design or caption. Now, that will take me like 2 to 5 minutes. So it's not something that I need to focus on. So I know that there is my minimum attention task, there is my maximum attention task. What you want to do at the end of the day is have a list of tasks that you know are your maximum attention tasks already written here, medium attention and mini attention task. So we went from the 6 Ds to maximum attention, medium attention, and minimum attention. It just use the word attention. So maximum attention, oh, I need to deeply focus. Minimum attention does not need to really deep focus. Review slides, but if I'm doing my slides and designing my slides, that may need full attention. So with time, you'll be able to build your list of maximum, medium, and minimum. Now, every week, these are the things I want you to have. I want you to have this 6 or 7 columns. Depends. There are things that are your planned task. Your unplanned task are tasks that are assigned to you that were not planned. For example, I can just say, oh, Nafisa, I want you to create a video for me. You and I did not plan that in the morning or at the beginning of the week. Middle of the week, I just send you a video and say recreate it. That's a unplanned task. It will come up. So this week, I had 2 unplanned tasks, meeting with NP, and today I have a prospect meeting with EMZ. They were not planned. They were unplanned tasks. So I know that I had 2 unplanned tasks. You can see count 2. My planned tasks are tasks that I will plan. There is the I have to prep for my live. I have to send my email. I have to do my Instagram content. So this is what I will say. When it comes to this one, I have, this is the table you will have to use. I have my task, I have progress, I have level, priority, and start date, end date before feedback. And I will go through everything with you now. So well, once we're through with this part, we'll come to this part. Reoccurring tasks are tasks that you know that reoccur. So I go live every Tuesday and Friday. They are reoccurring tasks. There may be other things. I attend co-working session every Wednesday. That's a reoccurring task. For somebody to be attending co-working daily, it's a reoccurring task. Posting on social media for a client, I do it Monday to Friday. They are reoccurring tasks. Now, you have some tasks that you were assigned that you know you were supposed to do that you didn't end up doing. They go under you're unable to complete. So I was unable to complete commitment circle, and I'm being honest. I was unable to complete it. I can now look at the other parts. Then, do I need to follow anybody up? This follow up is this thing. To film is not compulsory for everybody, but everybody will have a learning path. Who do I want to follow up with? I want to follow up with these 2 people. I can write how I want to follow up in the notes, but I want to follow up with these 2 people. Then I have to film and what I want to learn. So those are that things. So that's why you have planned, unplanned, reoccurring, unable to complete, follow up. Just leave it at follow up. I will leave the filming and learning out of it. Now, out of those tasks, you have this, you have your progress. For your planned task, you know the things that you're supposed to do. What was your progress? Did you complete it? Did you defer it? There are different options. So these are the options. Pending, I've not started. Pending, it's maybe I need this thing. Done, delegated, not started, next week. These are the options that you have. So it's a pending task. Maybe you're waiting for something for this. You write it in your notes. Now, this task, remember you were writing your list of tasks because this one will keep changing. This one will be consistent. Is it a maximum attention task or a minimum attention task? You now do that. I've already explained what that is for you. So you know mini, medium, maximum. You know that already. Priority, is it a high priority? Like, for example, this meeting here, it's a high priority. I can't miss it. I can't defer it. Level of attention, it's medium level attention. Okay. But progress, I have to do it no matter what. I have to do it. So it's pending now. We've started, but there are some things that are pending. I'll write pending. You want to be able to do this for all your tasks. Progress level priority. When you are able to do these three things, so we're going to start small, we're going to start gradually. When you're able to do this, your progress, what's your progress with it? At the end of the week, you'll be able to do what has to be done. You remember that every week I'm supposed to write a report. That becomes a reoccurring task. You're like, every week I do this. You remember to do it. There are some tasks that are planned. If you see that, oh, every week there are some things that you are not completing. I was unable to complete it this week. And at the end of the week, you keep on seeing unable to complete, unable to complete, unable to complete. You will have to check yourself and say, okay, why didn't I complete this task? But it's your planned task. Okay, you prefer master list. All right, so we change it to master list. It's your planned task, remember? It's your planned task, unplanned task, reoccurring task, unable to complete and follow up. If you want to, and like I said, it's your personal system. If you feel that want to do, to design, to write, and you feel that that would help you, fine, do it your way. But this is where I'm saying you start. What are your normal planned tasks? What are the things that you know that you will do? What are the reoccurring tasks that you do all the time? You know that every single time this is something you must do. Every week you must create 7 designs for people. You must post on 7 pages. You must do this. Those are reoccurring tasks. In order to do this, oh, I plan to do this. These are my planned tasks. Planned tasks is when I say, what are you doing tomorrow? Oh, I'm writing a blog post. Because just imagine a reoccurring task that all of you are supposed to have had for team unlocking and team restorative. The video is not clear. Oh, and people didn't talk since. Let me see if I can. Oh, I wish I could see the video so I'll see how it's not clear. Let me. No, this is not going to help. 1 second. Let's see if we can rectify it. 1 second. Because I can see it on the screen. It's showing me plan tasks. Is it that the font is small or the video is not clear? Please let me know which one it is so I know how to rectify it for you. Is it that the font is small or the video is not clear? Which one is it? How do I zoom in on? All right, so we have collapsed that. Let me see if I can zoom in. No. 1 second. I'm just trying to see if it's clear. Let me know if it's clearer now that I have done this. Do it. Is this better? Let me know if this is better. If I expand it this way. It's small and also not clear. Unfortunately, it's Airtable. But let's get the basics. Okay, let's get the basic things first. The things that we're supposed to do. Understand the basics. Esther, you have access to this. You have your task, you have your progress, you have your level, priority, and then your start date and end date. Later, if you want to include how long it takes you to do certain tasks, you would have it. So even if you can't see it, just write this down. You have your task, your progress. For your progress, you are saying, have I started? What happened? Done, delegated, not started next week. So you've deferred it to next week because you realize that you can't complete that task this week. You're carrying over certain things. level: maximum attention, minimum attention, medium attention. What is the amount of attention you need to complete this task? Is it a task that you can multitask, but it's supposed to be a task that you are fully laser focused? I think I'm going to end the Instagram one because it's just not clear there at all. All right, thank you. Oh, you're just going to do the this thing. Your start date and end date. Why are you putting dates, and why am I telling you to control your calendar? Because most of the time when it comes to productivity and getting things done, we let our calendar control us and we don't control our calendar because we fail to remember that there are some tasks that we, no matter what we are going to do, they are reoccurring tasks. And when we are planning, we forget that sometimes life happens and something else comes in the way. If something comes in the way, we can now say, okay, I need to be flexible and make changes. When you are getting things done, remember this morning we talked about working from your project list first, having a list of projects. So your projects, every single thing goes to your master list because we've renamed it. I was going between master and major, but Esther has chosen master. It starts from your master list. That is the main list of every single thing. No, don't worry whether it's I don't have the resources. You just write it down there first, but you'll be able to break it down into tasks and whether you're deferring or not. That part is clear. But what I could do for you is, like I said, mention the things and give you the QR code so you can have access to the Airtable so you can actually view it and download it yourself. I'm not making it editable, I'm just making it for you to see it. Everybody is different. So the way you do your task will be different. The way you work will be different. What I am just talking to you about is what are the things you need to actually get things done. You need a system, and this is one of the systems that you can have that actually works because you are seeing what you're doing and you are able to actually identify where you need help and where you need to focus your attention. Remember, the reason we are saying maximum attention and minimum attention is because of the attention required to complete the task. You need to be able to actually see it. Okay, Esther, you may be viewing from your mobile phone. So if you're viewing from your mobile phone, it's going to be very, very small. Why did I talk about having that simple system that we I created? Because of the power of prioritization. Remember when we talked about prioritization, we said, is it a high priority, a low priority, or is it a medium priority? Sometimes you say, is it a distraction? Sometimes there are certain tasks that you know that you do, or certain activities that you do that you know that are just distracting you, but you want to be able to focus on what matters, and definitely success will follow. It's about the power of prioritization. And the Eisenhower matrix talks about do what's important, not just what's urgent. Sometimes we are like, this thing is urgent, so let me do it. You keep on doing those things that you feel are urgent and you fail to build a foundation and do what's important. So do what's important, not just what's urgent. And it's about what we do daily, not what we do every other month. So we talked about building good habits and starting small and eventually increasing the things. Remember, we said there are 7 steps. We're on step 5. Step 5 talks about creating daily routines. What do you do in the morning? What do you do in the afternoon? What is your workflow? How do you work? I always say before you start working, especially if you work from home, even if you work in an office, when you want to get into deep work, do a brain dump first. That's a routine. A routine is just what I need to do to get something done. Because we talk about routine rituals and we need to understand that they are important. So we've talked about this in the past, so I won't really dwell on it. But the magic of morning routines, how you start your day determines how you live your day, and how you end your day determines how you start your day. That's just what I want to say. Sometimes we start our day in a rush. We don't go to bed early and we're just rushing, 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 rushing. So we're not really making progress. We're everywhere but nowhere. And because you start your day so anxious, so eager, you are just about to run out the door, run to your computer. You did not plan the time you wake up. You did not plan what you will do when you wake up. It is not effective. It's not good for your health. Mental, physical, emotional health, well-being is at risk. if you keep living life at that rushed phase. Oh, it's time for co-working at 9. You just switch on your computer and then you just get into work like that. Give your body the opportunity to rest and ease into work. Don't rush into work, ease into work. How you start your day determines how you live your day. We talked about morning routines, and I'm thinking we may do or we may have another conversation about this in the future. But for now, just know this. There are different ways people do it. Esther is going to put up a post on Instagram about morning routines this weekend. But I will say start with silence. Don't start your day with a rush. Pray, meditate, do whatever it is to make your mind calm. Calm your mind yourself. It's not about meditating for 5 hours. Sometimes it takes you 60 seconds to get into that phase. Get in there. If you know you have to rush out of the house, then set your time to wake up early. Tell yourself you will wake up early. But apart from your morning routine, since we're talking about evening routine, a productive day starts with a well planned evening. What's your plan when you end work? Do you have an evening routine that is structured to make you win? If you don't, what do you want to do about it? A productive day starts with a well planned evening routine. Plan your evening properly. Okay, I would reflect on the day to see what I did during the day. What did I say I was going to do? Did I do what I said I was going to do? If I did not, why? If I did, why? What were my unplanned activities that came up today? You are able to sit down and reflect. That gives you the opportunity to win. It's not just about winging it all the time because we are all fantastic when it comes to winging it. So, we talked about controlling your calendar. These are some dates you should have on your calendar that nobody can take from you. And you're supposed to have like this 5 to 10 dates in a year of when you have meetings with yourself. Some of them are short meetings, some of them are deeper meetings. So you have your daily reflection where you say, what am I doing? What did I do today? Blah, blah, blah. You reflect on your day and you plan for the new day. In the morning, when you wake up, you reflect on how you want that day to be based on what you've planned the night before. And you've had that daily session with yourself. Midweek session, middle of the week. Okay, we've come to the middle of the week. What did I say I was going to do this week? Am I on track? What I am suggesting is even don't do the midweek one, do Monday to Friday that session. On Friday, you now plan for the weekend, and then you Sunday you plan for the week. Friday plan for the weekend, Sunday you plan for the week. But that's my own way of doing it. You may want to take the daily reflection, the midweek reflection. The weekly one is on your calendar. You already know that at this time every week I am having a meeting with myself to reflect on what I have done and how I can make changes. Nobody is coming for that meeting but you. So you're going to be honest, transparent, and vulnerable with yourself and actually tell yourself the truth. Did I talk the right way to people? Did I receive the things I wanted to receive? Was I assertive as I wanted to be? And you have these meetings regularly with yourself, I will suggest weekly, monthly, quarterly. Why am I suggesting weekly, monthly, quarterly? Because every month you want to reflect on the month and make changes if you want to make changes. You can't try something for 1 week and say it's not working, I want to change it. And you don't want to wait to the end of the quarter to say this is not working, it's too late for me to change. We work in 12-week circles, 90 days, 90 days. So every month you have a meeting with yourself, and we can do our monthly reflection meeting for the month of July together if you guys want us to. I think that would be wonderful. And then you plan for the next session, you plan for the next month. You go into that new month refreshed and willing to succeed because you've been able to have this time with yourself. And it's not just about creating a system, but it's about using a system. Remember, we talked about a system. The best tool to use is the tool that you use consistently. So, consistency and accountability are important, but you're not just accountable to others, you're accountable to yourself. Most of us are more scared of what others will say when we don't do what we're supposed to do. But cultivating accountability means holding yourself accountable and becoming unstoppable. I'm not going to check whether you had your daily reflection. I'm not going to check if you have a weekly reflection. But if it's something you've made a commitment to do and you don't do it, you will know when you don't do it. So don't disappoint yourself and be willing to make others smile. Think about you. Are you a man or woman of your words, or do you lie to yourself and say you will do things and then you don't do it and you just move on? But it's also about building resilience and discipline. I talk about self discipline a lot. It's not just about saying, oh, I am disciplined, I am disciplined, oh, I can discipline a child. What about yourself? Showing up for yourself daily is not just about going to the spa and writing self care and quoting a scripture. No, it's being there for your spirit, soul, and body, and ensuring that sometimes you are bored with yourself so you can hear yourself speak. That's why I say start your day with silence. If starting your day with silence is going to cause you to sleep, change location if you have to. If you can't, then maybe start your day with a walk. Start your day whatever way, but don't start it in a rush. Build resilience and self-discipline and cultivate habits. Now, the dates I talked about were because of this, because you want to review and adjust. You don't want to wait till the end of 2023 to realize that, oh, the way I'm working is not giving me results. I have more things that are not working than things that are working. So you want to learn from your mistakes, but the only way you can learn from your mistakes is through the power of reflection. So you have to have this reflection dates on your calendar. It's not something that you say, oh, will happen one day. One day is not a day. A day is a specific date and time. Date, time, location. You write it down and you are disciplined enough to make that meeting with yourself. If you miss the meeting, tell yourself why you missed it and give yourself a query if possible. But success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Sometimes when we make mistakes, we don't learn from our mistakes because we don't reflect. We had an event and we talked about, oh, this what worked. What did not work also is something that we have to discuss. Sorry about the vulnerable people. So mistakes are stepping stones to progress. In order to progress, you need to learn from your mistakes. Don't run away from them. I want you to have a meeting with yourself this weekend. Sit down with yourself and say, oh, what were all the tasks I was supposed to do? Did I do them? What happened? What was my attitude to work? Was I 100% there or was I just playing around? Have a meeting with yourself. Your personal productivity journey is a journey, not a destination. It's not a journey that ends next week. It's a lifelong journey. The reason I gave you just the pieces that you need to build your own system is because I want you to build something that works for you, not against you. It's a journey. So you're going to sometimes review and adjust. If I said on plan does not work for you, you say, okay, you adjust it for yourself. I want to give you that flexibility to be able to think. I don't want you to think that, oh, this is the only way to do it. No. Review and adjust your system. Having those meetings with yourself where you are able to actually audit your life, it will give you the ability to bloom, to grow, to be the best version of yourself. Thank you so much. I remember also, I just saw the time. They just reminded me that I have a meeting at 10 p.m. So, all what we've said is this: your personal productivity system is a system that helps you set your goals, set parameters to check on your goals, ensures that you're accountable to yourself, ensures that you don't miss a beat. And when you make mistakes, you learn from these mistakes. So it's an holistic system that takes all these things into consideration: your task, your time, every single thing. Do not limit yourself by just setting goals. Do not limit yourself by just saying, I'm motivated, I'm the most, I have aspirations. Congratulations, you have aspirations. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to execute? How are you going to implement those goals? What tasks is involved? Be prepared. And next week, Monday, I think our next session is on Monday. Let's confirm. I think I'm giving you people this week. I'm giving you quite a lot of things to do. So the next session is Monday, July 24th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, at 9 p.m. And we're going to be talking about accountability. How can you stay on course? How can you be accountable to yourself? And do you need to be accountable to your peers also? That's the conversation for Monday, and I look forward to hearing from you. Send me a DM if you're watching. My name is DK Jonah. Send me a DM, whatever platform you are watching from, and let me know what you think about this conversation. What are you willing to do to build your own personal productivity system? All right, I won't take questions today. Thank you so much for your time, and I am off for my next meeting. All right, bye.